welcome to the A for No, B for Yes podcast, the Zelda themed podcast where we go chapter by chapter through the Legend of Zelda. Last episode, we had climbed the highest heights and saved a dragon, not a princess, and now we are on our way to beat a giant tree. My name is Anthony. And joined with me are my co-hosts.
Hi, I'm Ryan Fonzie. I'm a giant tree. Please don't beat me.
Hi, I'm Admiral Cameron, and I'm one of the choo-choos that's bugging that tree over there.
You stay away.
No. I'm Lieutenant Goosefoot, and I'm also bugging this tree.
Guys, I'm serious.
Man. That's too bad. You shouldn't have had boogies, because now we sentient.
Nah, Ganon. All right, guys. So we got stuff to talk about that I forgot to talk about last time, and then we got stuff to talk about with travel, and then we got stuff to talk about with this Forest Haven because it's crazy.
I got stuff to talk about that we didn't talk about last time too.
Yeah,
kinda.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go first.
Go ahead, do it.
Did you know that the auctions are actually completely RNG and you can get the Swift sale first?
Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't until you told me. And then it happened.
No, actually, well, the time I replayed for the podcast file, I got Swift sale as the second item, and then in my single player playthrough, I got Swift sale as the first item.
Huh.
A single player playthrough.
As opposed to the Tingle Tuner playthrough that he did back in Doom 3.
My personal playthrough.
I like that. Yeah.
Well, it's like we're all playing it together, This is full player.
So cool. It's an adventure. Yeah. This is Four Swords Wind Waker.
This is 4 waves. So yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know that you can definitely just save outside of the auction house and reload the save file and get the Swift sale immediately.
Okay. Speedrun strat.
Yeah, they once they were like, "Hey, there's a C chart here," they wouldn't let me not win the C chart. Like it was like, "Nope, you can't get anything else on these other things." But I also didn't reload my save. I just, left and came back, and it was like, "We're still on this one." And I was like, "Really?"
Huh. You gotta trick them. You gotta reset their entire world.
You are all digital entities, just zeros and ones, and I am your commander.
Reset.
All right. Mayo, did you have a story to tell before we get back into what we were doing?
I mean, I can try to tell one.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
I don't have anything, no.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. So as we left last time, we had just gotten... Well, as we entered the island, we got the Wind Waker, but we had just gotten our first actual Wind Waker song from this dude, Zephos, right? And we did not talk about why he's named that. So Zephos comes from the word Zephyr, or like the name Zephyr. It's like the Greek god of the western wind.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically like a god known to be like of warmth, of fertility. Like it's like a very positive thing, right? This western wind.
I just know it because it was the name of a wind genie in Golden Sun. So that's how I learned what Zephyr was wind based.
Lots of RPGs always have a bow named Zephyr.
The Zephyr bow.
Without doubt.
I don't remember where I first learned that word, but I've known it for a while. Where did I learn that from?
I don't know. I thought it was always interesting that they use a specific direction for the good frog boy, but then for the mean one, he's just Cyclos as like a cyclone, right?
You're supposed to just, I guess, be like chaotic and destructive, yeah.
Right.
Kind of like a hurricane or a tornado.
What was he like before the shrine got damaged?
I would imagine still
He was
still all over the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No picnic.
No, it's fine. I was doing like I was reading about the Exodus today, and then I know this is like out of left field, but it talks about how like when they crossed the sea, specifically, it was an east wind that came and parted the sea, and I got like so into this, like why an east wind, right?
I don't know. Depends on. I can't remember the name of it. Like the theory about like which person is writing the Torah, and from which point of view. There's 4 different. I can't remember what it's called.
Gotcha.
Ask them. There's probably like if it were the Levite class, which is one of the 4 authors, that maybe that like I don't know, east winds mean something to them, and so like okay, we have to make sure to mention that it was an east wind.
I just did some quick Googling and I didn't get that. I didn't get into authorship studies. I just got into like general cases of like specifically if they say the direction of the wind, like there's just some patterns that you can see. And interestingly enough, similar to the Greek god being kind of a positive entity, west wind in the Bible is like typically a good thing. It's like renewal or deliverance, something positive, basically.
Mm.
And my east wind, so in this situation, the east wind wasn't for the people escaping, it was for the people who were about to get wrecked. Because apparently the east wind tends to like come with judgment and punishment and destructive power. It's like it's like the kind of the opposite side of the coin, typically seen as coming like from the desert and scorching crops and things like that. So I just had this moment where I was reading and noticed it specifically called out the wind direction. And as we just played this section, I was like, I wonder what's going on with this whole wind direction thing. Dug into it a little bit. It was interesting. So that's just to say that I found it funny that Cyclos wasn't given a wind direction.
He's calling east,
but he is on the right side of the little the opposite Zephyr, the west wind. So like it kind of harkens to that. Like maybe he is that destructive east wind. But they try to keep that stuff out. So it might have just been like, we're gonna call this one Zephyr.
Yeah,
because we're okay calling up Greek mythology, but we don't want to go much too further than that. And then the other one, they're like, oh, it's Cyclops.
NOA has always been skittish about that.
Yeah.
So you did mention before that you really do have a story to tell. I forgot. I do have a story to tell, and it is with something that you can do back on Windfall that I didn't mention. So I did forget to save my game, and I got all the way to the Forest Haven, and I did all the stuff. So I got the auction, went to Swift Sale, all the fishmen, yada yada. Then I had to replay all of that from Dragon Roost. So this time I collected all the rubies in the ocean, ready for the Swift Sale, and it was nighttime. And I was like, I have a limited time window here. I cannot be sitting here waiting for daytime. And then I remembered you can talk to Tot, the dancing guy we talked about 2 episodes ago now. And here you can then learn the song of passing. And he'll dance for you. He'll be like, yeah. And then you can learn it and then change this time of the day.
Did you do what I did and think that he was doing a 4-4 instead of a 3-3 for the conducting? Okay.
Because he does hang out there forever with his spin.
Yeah. Yes. He does a left and a right, and then he spins and then does a down. And so I switched over to 4-4 and did left, right, center, down. And it was like, nope, that's not it. So then I went back to 3 and just did left, right, down. It's like, yep, that's it. That's not what he did, but okay.
For the spin, I went up, but that's what I thought too. And I was like, it's not working. Can I actually get this here? And then
yeah, you know how it is. When the music is inside you got a boogie.
But yeah, I mean, this just harkens back to the Sun Song, and written by Flat and Sharp,
Mm.
being one of the best songs ever written in Ocarina of Time. It's
Yeah.
so good, so good. It's such good feeling to play it on the Wind Waker. Yeah, that's what I did. Make my life a little bit easier to
Alright.
catch up to where I was at Forest Haven.
So we should
I
talk about.
sailed south.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. So we start sailing south, right? And there is a volcano. One of the first islands we come up to is
There's a
one we can't
volcano.
actually go to.
Yeah. I was real excited. I was like, okay, here we go. We're going to get to see. I wonder what the first island's going to be. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know that island. I can't go to that island at all.
I definitely threw bait to the fish man, and he was like, they say there's a great treasure inside there, but he's like, there's no way you're going to get in it the way it is now. And he said that, so many squares up and so many squares to the west, and you'll find the right section of the sea to get the power to enter.
Yeah.
Which is a hint for way later in the game. Like, that's not really for now.
It's like, yeah, I mean, we can't even go there, but
Right.
you also can't even go there.
Aptly said. So, yeah. But you can kind of explore this square. There's like pirates on platforms and things like that you can do. Nothing crazy though.
Yeah,
kind of.
there's just some cannon shooting that we can't really mess with.
Yeah, it's interesting. You think that when you go up and you defeat the bokoblins on top of these things and take their treasure, that the cannons would deactivate, but I guess there's minions inside that thing that just do not come out.
Yeah, that confused me.
Yeah, eventually we'll be able to kill the cannons, and they count as enemies on the platform. So sometimes when you kill all the cannons and the bokoblins, you'll get like a treasure chest or something will appear.
Yeah.
A chest with 10 whole rupees?
Probably $10. Or for you guys, a stamp.
A stamp.
Oh boy. Usually it's just been rupees. I haven't found any stamps yet.
Oh, okay. That's good.
We can go a little bit further south, and I think is it Bomb Island next? It's one of the Triangle Islands, right?
Yeah. Also, can't really do anything.
Eastern Triangle Island.
Eastern Triangle Island. Okay. If you go there, there's a totem statue sitting on a
It
triangle.
does nothing.
Yeah. What the heck
Doesn't
is this
even look
thing?
real. Looks like alien.
I know. I tried smacking it. Nothing.
I'm sure it'll never be important.
None.
Never.
So if we keep it moving,
I'll never see something that looks like this in any other video game made by Japanese people.
Actually, funnily enough, if you feed bait to the fish man, he'll tell you that there's an amazing container 1 square south of here.
Whoa!
And you just gotta look for a shabby looking submarine to find the container.
I bet it's a heart container.
I bet. So he doesn't tell you anything about the actual Triangle Island. He's like, hey, he's like, yeah, this is. Let me put this in your map. Here's the name. Cool, right? Anyway, if you go south, there's something way more important going on.
Yeah, I used to like hit every fishman everywhere, and then like my co-host said that his way of going about it was once he had cleared the island out, he sought out the fishman to be like, okay, that's done. Like, I know that island is completed. I don't need to come back there. And that like stops it from being like, what have I done? What haven't I done? I just need to go to every single island again. So I've kind of adopted that method.
Gotcha. Kind of like a little built-in notebook.
Yeah, almost. Because I this is one of the games where like, man, it'd be great to draw on the map. I wonder if Zelda will ever do that one day.
And then it did with Phantom Hourglass for some reason. And that's pretty much it, right?
And it didn't They missed the point. I want to draw on my map. I don't want to have to draw on my map.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. Icons were good.
Markers are good enough.
you can at least put markers in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Well, the beacons, yeah.
No. Yeah, you can only have 6 beacons up, but you can put your own marks.
But they
on
only
stuff.
allow like
Yeah.
what, 6 or 7, so it kind of
You can put like 100 stickers on there.
Yeah, there's 100 stamps and then 300 and tiers. Yeah, no. Like I just wanted to draw on the map. That was all. I want to make my little notes and not like, okay, now find the 4 things and draw the order and like no. I just want to be like, hey, don't come back here and buy this thing in this shop.
Gotcha.
This is a game where that would be really useful.
Right?
Yeah. It's one of the first ones that has a big open map like this that looks like paper and kind of hints that you should be able to draw on it. Like it's
Fish
Ah,
come
The,
flying at
the
you with
fish
the-
draws on it.
right
Yeah,
with
they
a
fly at you.
paintbrush in their mouth. How do they keep ink on that brush?
Well, you know.
I gotta go talk to my friend the octopus real quick. Get some ink. I'll be right back.
Makes me think of what could have been with the if the Wii U had taken off and Breath of the Wild had only been a Wii U game. Imagine all of the drawing and stuff that you could do on that. Never mind. That's an aside.
Oh, speaking of fishmen, by the way, the first one that we meet, we don't have to give bait to. And after he's done giving you the chart, which I think was Dragon Roost.
Yeah.
He straight up tells the king, like, oh, by the way, like I consider our debt settled for this. Like I like basically like we're squared. I paid you back for that thing that you did. But he doesn't say what happened.
No.
Which
like
of
king.
It's led to a lot of like fan theories about it. Like stuff like either, a lot of it has to do with spoilers, so I can't really get into what the theories are right now.
Okay.
But
I would love to need to write on our map to come back to this at like one of the final episodes.
It was that him and all his fishman brothers wanted magic paintbrushes, and the King of Red Lions gave it to them.
For sure. He just popped over to the Hyrulean art store.
Jumped over to Okami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't we also hit the Cabana Island some point here?
No, it's nearby, but we can't get to. It's one of the islands we can't get to because it's off the main path.
Oh.
I think we can get to it right after this. Like after we're done with Forest Haven. I think it's one of the neighboring islands you can go to. Which I'm looking forward to because I got that deed already, you know what I mean?
Yeah, indeed.
I
see what you did.
Yet. And then there's Bomb Island, which I think is the next one down. Similarly, we can't do much here. I did do. It's like the island is shaped like a bomb with a big wick coming off the end. And if you try to just run down the wick, these vines come sprouting out of the ground. And there's some pots at the end. So I did this thing where I did a side hop followed by a jump slash to get around the vines. And it
speed run.
What are you doing bringing Ocarina of Time speedrun tactics in here?
Listen, it worked the second time I tried it. So I did it once. Link made it across, but then got hit by the vines and flung. So then I tried it again and it worked. And
so it didn't save you that much time.
No, didn't save me time at all. When I got to the pot and broke it open, it was 10 rupees. So don't feel like you missed anything.
$10.
They just decided to gatekeep $10 for some reason.
Yeah, I'm still at the point where I only have I can only hold 200 rupees. So money is just inconsequential at this point. I see it and I'm like, I don't need that.
Even
I
at
think that's
500,
why
it feels
the-
inconsequential. I've been sitting at 500 for so long. I go to Beetle and spend 150, and before I know it, I'm back up to 500 again. Going, I don't need this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the fact that they put all those glowy spots in the sea and they're so easy to just pull 50
Pretty
rupees
much.
every time.
Yeah, I think that's why with the HD version they gave the bigger wallet because they're like, there's so many wasted rupees in this section of the game if you don't have a bigger wallet.
Yeah. I forget where I get it too.
It's probably like a ferry or something. I don't remember how that all goes.
Ooh. Maybe after this episode, I'll be able to do something cool.
Maybe. But speaking of something cool, on Bomb Island, there's a little dude with a spyglass who is looking at the submarine. And if you talk to him, he's like, "Oh, what could I do with such a container?"
Oh.
Exactly. some of my favorite dudes.
I see what he did there.
I can't wait till we get to the one who has a kaleidoscope instead of a telescope. The best.
I like that guy.
Yeah. But so we could go to the wonderful magical submarine of mystery.
Yeah.
It's full of rats and bokoblins.
Yeah, and I gotta say, these rats, they don't take the bait.
Oh.
I tried.
Yeah. I tried over and over.
I did too. I threw it right at him.
Yeah.
I think because there's maybe no
Yeah.
like holes for them, like no
These are homeless rats.
nests with a little mouse hole. Yeah.
These
so
rats
probably,
spawn.
yeah,
Yeah.
scragglier. So I grappling hooked all of them and stole all their rupees instead.
How much do they give you?
Turn the tables.
I tried, but they were reacted. Like every time I was looking in their direction, they wouldn't get near. Like they just tried to blindside you. So I had to pretend like I didn't care about them, and then when they got close, actually like just swing a sword at them from behind. Like I had to turn real fast.
Okay.
They were rude. So once you defeat all the bokoblins in the room, though, you do get another empty bottle, which is fantastic.
Yo.
Woo.
Which is critical for defeating the boss of this next dungeon.
Critical.
Legit thought I was gonna get a heart container. No idea why. The game doesn't give you heart containers just out in the middle of nowhere. What is this, Zelda 1?
Not yet, anyway. There are some islands where like you have to solve a puzzle to get a heart container, but that's
Yeah, heart piece.
Right.
Not
a full container. What are you mad?
Yeah, exactly. I picked up the bottle and I was like, "Oh, I'm a moron."
Just side note, submarines are some of my favorite things in this game.
Hard agree.
There's only so many of them, but the design of them, the simplicity is great. This one was a little bit frustrating just because there is a room up above, like there's a doorway to a little hidden room across the way, but there's no way to get up to it.
I spent a little while looking too. I'm like, there's a door. What the heck?
Yeah.
Is there goodies in there?
No, it looks completely empty. If you stand up on the platform and look across, there's nothing in it. But like usually there'd be a treasure chest or something, and then you defeat the submarine enemies and like a ladder drops, or you got to swing across or something. This one, it's just nope. It's just we didn't want to change the layout of the submarine, so the room's still there. You just can't get to it.
There's a shirtless picture or poster of the hero in there. That's what the treasure is.
It's around the corner though. You can't see it unless you actually get to the room.
Yeah, you gotta find the Triforce. You gotta get under Zora's domain to get into that room.
Wow. You gotta find the Pegasus fountain first, and then
oh yeah,
go up. Yeah, okay.
We need Rock's cape.
Bomb hovers for the win.
Yo.
Anyway, back to this game. We can finally go one more square south, and get to the Forest Haven. Did anybody else see the ghost ship on their way here?
No.
I actually I don't remember if it was a fishman or a dude.
It was
But
the
someone, it
Bomb
might have been
Island
maybe
fishermen
there's like a second pair of
talk about it,
divers.
but I think the divers talk about it too.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Fry.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So I wasn't sure it was like in those squares, so I didn't really do anything with it.
No, I think because I ended up going back to Windfall to get the Swift Sail, it like moved my days forward, right? So like I'm
Right.
further on in the game clock. So when I was at Bomb Island, it was night and there was a ghost ship just chilling.
Ooh.
Can't interact with it yet. You can sail straight through it if you want. Because it
All
disappears
right.
when you get too close. Got a pictograph. Kept it moving because I knew it was too early for that, but I did see it. It was pretty cool. So yeah, sorry. Back to Forest Haven. This is one of those rough intros where you get close to the island and then you kind of go to an auto sail cutscene where Coral, right? That's what we've been calling him,
Mhm.
King of Red Lions, Coral.
That's what I call King of Red Lions.
Yeah, he pulls up, drops you off on the shore, and is like, "All right, so the next pearl you need is Aurora's, and it's somewhere on this island. Go up and go into the forest.
Yeah.
We got Pearl, man.
Yeah, go get that next pearl.
Why couldn't it just be stuck in his mouth?
Yeah.
Just had this one in the hall. Actually, I don't know why we came here. Sorry to waste your
No.
time.
No,
I think there's something stuck in the other end this time.
Yeah, he's got they each of these giant deities have something it's stuck in their mouth, and he gets the Wind Waker.
Yeah, there's a whole lore to it.
Yeah, he's like, I know this might look like a forest, but it's totally a forest.
It reminds me of what is it? So in Ocarina of Time, there was the sacred realm, right, and the doorway to get in to the Temple of Time, Chamber of Time, whatever you want to call it, the Door of Time. You had to go get the 3 sacred stones, but they were all scattered to different people.
Yeah.
And then you needed like an artifact from the royal family. So it's very much like imitating that, where the royal family has the Wind Waker, which is a conducting tool this time instead of an actual instrument.
Who has the Wind Waker?
The royal...
The boat.
The who?
He's a king. He's a king of
What?
Red Lions.
Oh.
The Red Lion royal family.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know.
Papa, when will I get my sail, Papa?
He told us.
I thought we were giving away too much. Sorry, my bad.
Oh no, it's all good. It does seem that way. I'll scrap some of this, but it'll be all right. And then like so far we found one group that had a pearl, and now we're at this forest where there's supposed to be a pearl. So let's see who we meet at this forest.
Yeah, let's see if they want to get married.
Yeah, we just gotta schmooze the princess, and then she'll propose to
The
us.
forest princess.
Right, I'll take the
How
pearl.
that work?
Your princess is in another forest.
Oh man.
Okay. So we climb up this lovely little waterfall landscaping scene. I don't know who tends the garden here. Well, that's right. I do know who tends the garden here. But we'll meet them in a second.
Beautiful. And you might think that you fight just a normal Deku Baba. You might think it's an average Deku Baba, but it is more than that. This is not your average Deku Babu warrior anymore. He has ascended beyond. He is now a Baka Babla.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can we get a clean take of that?
Did that end with a blah blah?
Become
He has risen above the ring.
saying.
Yeah, no, Bakablin. So it's Baka Baba. It's not Boko Baba. It's Baka Baba. But he's a Baka Baba, and he drops Baka Baba seeds and Baka Baba sticks because they're not Deku sticks in this game. They wanted to change it. They wanted to be different. Yeah.
Apparently.
Boko Baba. Yeah.
No
They
clue
got
why
a
they did that.
Thick design.
Mhm.
I mean,
They do look awesome.
And then obviously the Octo Rocks in this game have taken some Octotestosterone because they look huge and are mighty, but they also are still just as frail as any other game because they die in one hit.
Yeah.
And Link's shield has homing properties.
Yeah.
You know what I think it is? I think the Boko Baba, instead of just being straight up carnivorous plant, they've kind of mixed it with like a pitcher plant.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just got a deep gullet. Like it kind of like wobbles as it moves, and in a way that's very I mean, it's very cartoony, but it's like it works so perfectly with the style because of that.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
The thing,
and they sound hollow when you hit them too, like they're a balloon or something.
The sound design just never stops being awesome. Each enemy. I just never, I like this area. I think it's gorgeous. I love standing and swinging my chain at the top of a waterfall.
Sir.
I just, it's just always annoying, like, to get up here. And if you want to, like, come back here to say, like, see a potion salesman, it's annoying to get in here. Like, I just need to stop by and grab potions and spend like 3 minutes messing with all this stuff.
I always land in the water and have to like get washed downstream at least once when I get here. It's just tradition at this point. Like even there's a Boko Baba off on the left cliff face, just down a path where there's nothing else. There's no reason to go down there and fight it. But I always think to myself, well, I might as well go down here and check. And as I'm doing that, I like jump over that little pointy wall right into the water and get washed down. I don't know why. It's just the camera doesn't like to cooperate with me in this section. So Link is always walking on weird diagonals that I don't want him to. It's bad.
One slip and you're back at the start of the waterfall and you got to climb back up again.
There's something else with the Bako Baba that is just weird and hilarious. So every single one you kill, you get a Bako Baba seed. And it's just like, cool, it's a seed. Every plant has a seed, whatever. But in the Bako Baba case, they apparently are the source of the Bako Baba's power. So it's not like a seed.
The seed is the source of the power?
Yeah, that's what it says in the item description. So it's not like it's really a seed. It's more like their heart. Because it's the source of their power.
It's the mitochondria.
What power they have possessed, I have no clue, but that's what it is.
Did you see that tongue, though?
Yeah,
they come out and they're thirsty.
What that seed do? Yeah, I don't know.
It's what makes them alive.
Their seed has magic properties, so maybe that's where their magic comes from. Yeah,
and not just a inanimate plant that we'll soon see what.
Like an old silk hat, basically.
Yeah.
It's that old silk Boko Baba seed.
Not to be confused with a high silk hat.
Okay. Now I'm lost. You lost me.
It's a silly song with Larry.
Oh. Not a new silk hat?
Old silk hat. No, a high silk hat is. Oh golly, Mr. Nazir. Now, what do you think of that?
Huh. I've heard something similar, but with a new silk hat. Anywho, I think we're good on silk hats.
Yeah.
All right. So we can enter into this forest haven after defeating the awful platforming section.
Ayo.
And once we do, in fact, before we even do, can we talk about the music on this island? Because this is a new age, is what I want to call it. Kind of warped version of Kokiri Forest.
Yes.
Perfect.
It's very wow, right? But it's just a slowed down version. It's great.
All right. Instead of studying up when I woke up this morning for the episode today, I grabbed the ukulele and tried to play this song, and then just ended up playing the title theme. But yeah, I was like, I should be doing something more productive than just trying to play this clearly sitar part on a ukulele.
Nah, it's fine.
I mean,
Cover
hey,
song.
we all need our hobbies, Express ourselves through our art.
My hobby will never be the sitar, at least. It's cool. I'm not committing that amount of.
No.
It takes a while.
Yeah. There were some other
I'll learn
stringed
3 instruments.
I would try to learn before getting to the sitar.
Like, I feel like I could learn like 3 other instruments in the time that it would take to like
You could
really
be your own
learn how to
band
play the
before
sitar.
you learn that.
All right. I think they did it with MIDI here, so
Probably. And I heard some of the Yoshi. They're not. I don't know if they're bongos in Sunshine, but the Yoshi drums from Mario Sunshine were in the Dragon Roost Island dungeon music, and when I heard the episode, I was like, oh, that sort of takes some of the tension out of the Dragon Roost music or the dungeon music for me now. So it's like, is there a Yoshi around?
gotcha. Yoshi's Island is a great game. I haven't played that since
It is.
middle school, though.
Some of the best musics
Good game.
in Mario and Nintendo come from that game.
Very fun musics.
Very fun music. And as we enter and we're jamming to this music, we can kind of get a good profile shot of a big old tree with a big old face. We can kind of walk around this little. It's like there's all these like shallow pools, and it's weird because you're kind of inside of a giant tree, but also looking at a giant tree.
Mm-hmm.
It's arborception, right? Like we're making our way around to see what the deal is with this. And as we approach the face, not only does it start to animate, but also a bunch of chews start appearing on the tree's face. Looks like it starts off looking like maybe like bad acne or something, but then they reveal themselves to be chews, and it's like, oh, this is gross.
Got some
this is
boogies.
a nightmare over here. Yeah,
He's got chew pox.
he's got chew pox.
And he is not liking it.
Mm-mm.
No,
Oh no.
yeah. So
You were almost
I,
on Goron there.
well, I wouldn't be surprised if they borrowed some samples to make this guy's voice. You do the old-fashioned roll into a tree move, and all the
Very
chews
Goron.
are splashing down. Yeah, very Goron. And did you guys defeat all of them the first time you knocked him down?
Mhm.
Think so?
One of the times. The second time, one of them went back.
Yeah.
I had that experience this time where I was like working on it. I was like, I think I even hit the last one once, and so it bounced away from me, and I was gonna go, hit it again. But then suddenly it just went into a cutscene, and I was like, wait, did I defeat it or what? And then it showed the face again, and one choo-choo popped up like next to its lips or whatever. And he started freaking out the exact same amount. And I'm like, guy, it's just one.
Right?
Can we not?
You could blow this.
It's like,
one
I
away.
got the other 9, but like, come on, man.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Have some
I
faith.
used the secret family technique and got all of them but one.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a scripted return to face. Like, I really thought that it would just let me finish the fight. So that was just weird.
I had to go through them one by one with my grappling hook and get their
all
chew
the
jelly. just in case they drop more chew jelly and I get double.
Yeah. It's a good way to make them pop up, too, if they're being fussy.
Yes.
Like staying as a little blob. You can get your chew jelly, make them pop up, and slash them immediately and just take them out.
Mhm.
It's
You
nice.
got to be pretty close to them, but yeah, you can get a quick stun on them.
Yeah. And so if you're playing New Game Plus after you defeat these guys, you get like regular game, you get some Hylian script because this tree is an ancient being that knows the ancient tongue.
And as we'll find out soon, he just randomly had an inkling to speak it.
Yeah. So, right. So he says, because, New Game Plus over here. He says,
what did he say?
That garb you wear, could you be the legendary hero? I know, right? Now, hold on. Has the king at long last found the hero of time? And Link's just staring at him like, what?
What?
And then he's like, what's the matter? Do you not understand the ancient Hylian tongue? I don't know if that's actually still in Hylian or not. And he says, so you are not the hero of time. And then he brings up the lily pad, and I think this is where he starts speaking in regular language.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I must apologize. I was in error. I saw your clothing, and suddenly I felt longing for an age gone by. That longing caused the ancient tongue to pass my lips.
Mm-hmm.
My problem.
So unless you're...
Sorry, I was just going to
what's
say
up?
my problem with this and him recollecting the past is if this is the same Deku tree from Ocarina of Time, he is but a pup. He is a baby tree. He wouldn't even recollect. Like, that's my only problem with it. Unless this is just a different tree and a different hero of time at some point. But like he specifically said hero of time, which is like, so
Yeah.
you have like, are you good friends with Link? Because I'm pretty sure he disappeared in this timeline. Like
trees, I mean,
sprout.
magical trees don't necessarily like, because I mean, humans are like that, where we don't remember much from the first, like, sometimes 2 to 7 years, depending on the person. But who's to say magical tree spirit guy isn't like, his memories are in his wood, so he still has the wood in the middle of him at the bottom from when he was a sapling, so he still has his memories or something like that.
Yeah, we don't know how deep like this outer tree reaches into the ocean, if that's technically part of him or not. Like, because if that's the case, he's actually massive, and this is just like his face inside.
Yeah.
His inner face.
It just reminds me of in Ocarina of Time when you go visit the Deku tree, there was like the outer canyon wall, obviously because it's N64 and they had to get you somehow. But
yeah,
it kind of is like set up the same way, if it was to be that.
It's reminiscent. And then, you would have like the Deku tree sprout after the Deku tree died, maybe. Like sort of could be this tree. I think I think that's what I always thought.
That's what
when
I
was
thought
younger.
too.
It's like that's got to be
unless like the Deku trees keep the memories of the past Deku trees, maybe to like keep the history of Hyrule alive or something like that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the baby
memories.
Deku tree did know a lot about you with no one to tell it that information. So that wouldn't be too far off the lore.
Yeah, he tells you about your mom.
Right. He for sure wasn't around to meet. So like,
he's like, he drops, he's like, look, you're not even like, Kokiri. Like, sit down, Link. My first act as being alive is to give you your backstory.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that this game is pretty, I mean, it's not shy about being a sequel.
Yeah.
It's very much like, hey, like we're going to name drop the hero of time. We're going to just straight up let you know that something's going on with this backstory that, you grew up with on your island, and suddenly all these like crazy things you're running into across the world are referencing it. And
the bad guy looks eerily similar.
Yeah, if only Tears of the Kingdom had this kind of continuity.
Right? Well, they weren't afraid to like, have new people come into a continuity.
Yeah. And even though like things are definitely changing, like we're not getting sapphires and rubies, we're getting pearls. Like some of the language has changed, some of the artifacts have changed, but they're very much like Hero of Time. Like, could it be? And they're having these moments of like thinking that they're finally seeing the resolution of what is basically just a long past legend at this point for most people, anyway. So I thought that was interesting. Just how much focus there is on that. It's almost like this game was made for fans of Ocarina of Time. Like, it wasn't really made for new players as much.
Mm-hmm. Boy, did a lot of them hate it.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I feel like every Zelda now is just made for new players, which is fine. Like, as a business strategy, that's probably better for the developers to make a profit. But at the same time, for like people who are already deep into the series, sometimes it happens where you're expecting a sequel and instead you just get, hey, you're new here, check out all these new things you've never heard of, and you're just kind of sitting there like, I've heard of all of this, can you stop? I want you to talk about what happened, not tell me that nothing happened.
I also feel like this game specifically got the Star Wars prequel treatment, whereas like the hardcore fans did not like it when it first dropped. And then, fast forward to the now time where let's say the Star Wars sequel is released and then people are like, oh, I actually like the prequels. I feel like that's what happened here is like Tears of the Kingdom released and people were like, and then like appreciated Wind Waker for what it was. And I feel like it got like that second wind of, love.
I think the people who weren't going to play Wind Waker didn't. A lot of the people that hated on Wind Waker weren't people playing Wind Waker.
Yeah.
They're calling, if you referred to it as Zelda, you didn't play it. So a lot of the like hate and backlash and like reaction that Nintendo had came from a lot of people who like, I don't know, weren't into it or were just so ready for that Space World footage.
Yeah, that definitely did happen.
I mean, it's also that they didn't necessarily hate Wind Waker. They hated like what it was, the artistic direction that it took more so, I thought. So maybe even if the people that did play it, even though they were still mad at the time because of that, they subconsciously recognized that it was still a good game, or probably were thinking it like, dang it, this is actually good. I'm not going to admit that, but this is. So at this point, there's no face to save. So they can come out and go, yeah, no, it was really good. I had a lot of fun playing that. I just won't mention that I was one of the people bashing it online or all over the place just because like the artistic direction it took.
Yeah, maybe, but like a lot of like if you had a GameCube, like you were into this game. Like I think a lot of it was like most people did not have a game like of a certain age. Like I was in high school, and I don't know. I didn't know a whole lot of people who had GameCubes who didn't like Zelda. I don't know. I think Nintendo's reaction was mostly to a small group of press and I don't know, people who probably weren't going to play the game anyway. And that's how you get Twilight Princess.
Yeah. All right. So we after we get this this Hero of Time name drop, if you're playing New Game Plus, and just some nonsense if you're not, he does know that you must be here for Aurora's Pearl. Like, he knows immediately what you're up to, what you need. And he's like, I can get it to you, but we got this ceremony going on. We got to do that first, and then I can give you the pearl. Which is like, doesn't make any sense. Unless the pearl's powering the ceremony. Like, what do you, like, I don't need to be here for that.
First things first.
First things first. Ceremony. But then you get a kind of report from Makar's friend. We haven't met Makar yet. I can't remember what his friend's name is. I'm gonna see.
It's Lander.
What?
Linder.
Linder.
Like Linder. Yeah.
Like the chocolate.
Okay.
Link with a D. Yeah, like the chocolate.
All right. So, I actually forgot. We get the introduction to the Koroks here before Linder shows up. So
They used to be people.
Yeah. He's like, you're going to need the pearl. We got the ceremony. Hey, by the way, like all of my forest friends, this dude's a friend, not an enemy. Come on out. And we get the first ever appearance of the Koroks.
Our question: are the Bokobabas carnivorous if they eat Koroks?
Uh,
I would say
yeah.
I would say
because like I feel like a plant is technically meat of a variety.
I think the Bokobabas are carnivorous, and that's why the Koroks changed into this.
Okay.
They're like, if we're just made of wood, the Bokos aren't going to be as interested in eating us anymore.
And they're light enough to fly.
That too.
That too, yeah.
Goodbye, Glittery.
Because he straight up tells us that they used to take human form. Like in this scene. I thought we didn't learn that till way later, but no, he just straight up tells us, like, yeah, they used to be human form. It was a whole thing we used to do, but then they changed into this once we got on this great sea.
Yeah,
and I was like,
no
what?
biggie.
Yeah, no big,
Right?
no biggie.
But they're still my children.
Today, I just feel like waking up like to be a Korok today.
I'm made of wood and I can fly now. I bet.
And they all hide their faces behind leaves. I wonder what the background for that is. Like, why did they decide that that was the covering they needed?
They were sick of getting lost in the lost woods and turning into skull kids and style childs, and so they just decided to turn into a wood thing and hide their face from the forest.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
I don't think Kokiri can turn into stall children and skull kids. That's like Hylians.
Oh, it's just the Hylian children that got lost.
Yeah, because like they're,
or I guess adults too.
That one girl that like during the trading quest is like laughing about it, like, nah, he turned into a skull dude. Like,
yeah,
I won't because I'm a kid. Yeah, I'm a Kokiri, so I'm fine.
Yeah, they have fairies that keep them from turning. Navigate through the woods. And
is that what that's for?
I don't know. It's just a part.
Wake up, dude. It'll lead you back. That's all they really are. They're just an alarm system for Kokiri.
Maybe they all just look the exact same, so they had to use them to identify each other.
That's a good.
Maybe they took on wearing masks as an homage to the hero of time that they once knew, who went into the land of mask wearing.
Yeah, masks happen.
What?
Masks
happen. Yeah, you know.
I kind of like Cameron's theory because Linder is wearing a butterfly leaf mask, kind of like a joy pendant, which means he's like, happy. So I kind of like that. It's like, hey, this is my emotion. This is me. This is who I am.
Perhaps without the masks, they're all identical.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. To tell each other apart because they turned into like wooden statues. They couldn't actually like, who are you? Who are you? Why do you look like me? Who looks like him? Who looks like him? Who looks like her? Who looks like... Oh, no.
Oh, man, Ted, would you just put something in front of your face?
I can't even tell it's you when I'm talking to you, Ted.
Wow. All right. So Linder shows up to break the news that we can't do the ceremony because our musician that like is completely critical to the ceremony decided to break the rules that you gave. The one rule to stay away from the Forbidden Forest. He straight up said, right before the ceremony, he said, it's not that forbidden. Got too close. Got drawn into it. So my dude is trapped in the forest.
Yeah. I mean, like, the musician's late to the show because they got trapped trying to, breaking and entering into an abandoned building. I mean, like, this is the most musician thing I've ever heard. This is spot on, dude.
Typical musicians.
It's got that curiosity.
Makar is just about that life.
Yeah, this guy was my roommate at some point.
This is like the equivalent of like Santa. Obviously, he knows on December 24th, he's going around the world delivering. So this is like Santa like going out to the bar like the night before and just getting completely plastered and not showing up for Christmas. Like that's what essentially Makar did.
It's Santa getting plastered at the bar,
You had
walking
364
home,
days.
And accidentally going to the polar bear pit instead.
No. He walks home and he's like a new like subdivision under development, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go walk around this house that's just studs or something."
Meanwhile,
And then he
Mrs.
falls
Claus
and
is
hurts
like,
himself.
I told you to stay away from that one building. That's the only thing I asked of you.
It's just so cool.
Oh,
I fell down 2 stories to the basement. Oh
this has become
no!
a Family Guy tangent is what this is.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Bad Santa.
This is our new movie.
wow.
Link has to save Christmas.
Basically. So that's all
we gotta
this
go get
chapter is.
Makar.
We're going to save Christmas. So the Great Decree does tell us, like, hey, the king must be expecting great things of you. That I'm sure it's no coincidence you're here at a time like this. So you should probably go save him. Like this is your job now because you're here.
Right.
And it seems like you're on this particular mission anyway. So go prove yourself, do the thing.
Right. It's like if the king brought you here, then things are bad. That one guy's back, and here's a leaf. I'm going to poop it out.
Right. It's like, one of the guys is like, oh, you're going to send him to the forest. He can't fly. He can't get there. And he's like, oh, yeah, you're right. Humans can't do that. All right. Well, here's the most dangerous route I could possibly give you. And it's a leaf.
A leaf that he spawns way up top.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just use the little cannons to self-propel yourself up to, fatal heights.
10-year-old.
Right. 10-year-old with a job. Go do this. Like, this is... Oh gosh. So we launch ourselves along, we do some grappling. We get ourselves up to the magical leaf of gliding. The fancy schmancy Korok leaf. And then a Korok immediately calls out to us, hey, it's this way, you gotta go out this doorway, the one with the big arrow. Just in case you had any doubts.
This is just a curated garden with an arrow. Just how polite of them.
Yeah. And so you can fly out there, and I remember to change the wind direction for the first jump.
Good.
I did not remember to change it for the second jump.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then when I did remember to change it, I got hit by a pea hat and knocked down in the water. And then third time's the charm, finally got in there. And it was great.
Hey, that's pretty similar to me.
At least you don't have to go like all the way back.
My first time, I just straight mistimed the tornado because it was a little farther out than I thought it was. Yeah. And the second time, a baba hit me. And so I got third time as well.
I mean, I spent a lot of time doing all of the like other stuff, which then you have to climb all the way back up each time. Like, oh, okay, I'll go to the forest in a second. But yeah, like I thankfully made it in one shot, and I noticed that like when you're using the leaf, if you keep pressing the leaf button, he'll do that, like it'll like pop out
swoosh thing.
Yeah. That's apparently an attack.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, I think I killed a pea
hat with it.
I think so, because I got through in one shot, which never happens, and I was mashing it because I was like, speedrunners do this. I don't know if it helps, but I'm gonna do it. And got through and unscathed.
Wow, cool.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've ever seen that effectively happen. I mean, it definitely looks aggressive when it comes out like that, but I haven't, tried to hit anything with it.
Shot.
Yeah, mash that button. Mash that leaf button.
So
just leaf it.
I know I made mention that, and it kind of sounded like a joke at the time, that the bottle was critical for defeating the boss.
Oh yeah.
It's not critical, but it does save you a lot of time if you really want. If you manage to take water specifically from the Forest Haven, it's actually water that's meant for like a side quest later on. And it has a 30-minute timer from the second you leave the Forest Haven the first time with it. So if you go back into the Forest Haven, the timer doesn't reset. It just keeps going.
Yeah.
But once you leave, this timer starts. The first time I ever tried this trick, I did the whole dungeon and then left and got the water and then went back in and
Obviously.
did it. This time around, I was like, let's see if we can do it. Let's just see if we can just take it from here, like pre-leaf, and just run through this dungeon fast enough to kill the boss with the fancy forest water. Because it's basically the boss's weakness, right?
Right. I forgot about that.
And I did it. This dungeon with my falling out of the sky twice included only took like 17 minutes to do the whole dungeon. So crushed my way through it, just ran past a whole lot of enemies. So I'm saying that just to say that this dungeon is a little bit more of a blur to me than it has been in the past. Because I wasn't trying to waste any time in this place. I was just like running through it. So
half hour is totally doable in this dungeon. I could totally see it. I spent longer than that in here, but I could totally see that being a thing.
Yeah, I went after every chest in this dungeon. Most of them can say not worth it.
Nope. I did a clean sweep, but
there's two treasure maps. Those are the two that are worth it. Everything else is either rupees or joy pendants, and I already have the cabana deed.
Yeah, and if you want all of those treasure charts, like you don't want to come back here. Trust me. Like then you have to climb the waterfall, climb the tree, jump across all this stuff again just to get in here and go grab a treasure chart. So I made sure I got them both.
Yeah, I didn't have as good of a run as you guys. I kind of went through, got the boss key, did like, what is that, like 80% of the dungeon, maybe a little more at that point, and I saved and quit, and then I got back to the entrance, totally blanked on where I was. Like, completely blanked on what I did.
And at that point, if you have the key, it's like 2 rooms, but it's specifically a door that's kind of tucked away in a corner that you're not even supposed to really see
on the
until
second
you
level.
Come back from getting the boss key.
If you don't have the compass, then
And so like I went back in.
That would suck.
And I pretty much did the entire dungeon again without realizing it, because I was like, I have to find out where I'm going. And so like I went down to where the flower crashes through the floor. I went through the back of the dungeon, and I finally like did all that stuff. And not to mind you,
it immediately.
Not to mind you, when I did this, it was like, gosh, I want to say it was like 1 a.m. last night when I was doing this. And I was like in that state of, I would play for a minute and then slowly doze off, and my head would nod and come back and I'd be like, okay, I gotta finish this. That went on for about 2 hours of me trying to get through this dungeon, not knowing where the heck to go. And then I came back to it tonight, and immediately upon entering the dungeon from the entrance, I was like, oh, look, second level where this flower crashes through. I never went to this door on the second level here. Oh, boss. Great.
Right. If you go back down to the crashed flower, you've gone too far.
Yeah.
Not even 5 minutes. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I've fallen asleep enough times in a Zelda dungeon to just be like, okay, new rule for like life in general. If you're gonna go and do a dungeon, make sure you're gonna finish the dungeon, because waking up the next day and like trying to remember exactly what you had and what you didn't have, it's just like, no, we're gonna do this.
Yeah, dungeons is working memory. It's a working memory task, not a long-term memory task.
And this is like the part of me that was just hilarious to me today, was that I had the compass when I was doing this last night.
You did? Oh no!
Where the boss was, I saw where he was, and I saw that he was on the floor too. I just couldn't figure out. My brain couldn't wrap my head around getting to floor 2. Like, how do I get to floor 2 from there? There's neither the flower through the thing or the. And then I came back to it. And I was like, it's right there. It's that door right there.
You enter the dungeon. There's a room with a bunch of chews and a ramp. You don't actually need anything in this room except for the one nut on the left side. And you go in, and immediately you're faced with, do I go down or do I go up? Because it really seems like they want me to go up. And that is what they want, and that's what I did. So I never actually went down. Just started doing the platforming, and you immediately go away from that door. And then if you follow through the dungeon, you go through all these side rooms, these mazes of vines and things. You eventually get your boomerang, right?
Yeah.
And
there's a couple side rooms, but they're mostly straight and then vertical. There's a very straight line. I think there's a couple offshoots for like where the compass is hidden and stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of verticality, which it's tough to read the map when the doors are vertical and it's spaced around.
Right. In general though, like you eventually circle back to this main room with the big flower suspended, and you cut it down and you shoot right past that boss door. So if you're like me, you didn't even see that door. Like you didn't know it existed until you do the whole basement area, and then you fly back up and it sets you right in front of it. It's like, oh, hey, remember this part of this one room that you went up and then shot down? Yeah, it's actually right here, this door to the boss. I got the boss key and I was like, where else is there to go? I've been in every room. And then, I took the wind tunnel up and it was like, oh, there's a door here. All right, cool. And you go into it and that's it.
There's a lot of places that you can go early and there's just really nothing for you to do there. And yeah, it's by design that like they don't really want you to see that door. They want you to now, I've knocked the flower down. Okay, cool. I'm going to go this way. And like, they want you like when you get the boomerang, when you fight the mini boss, you could just go back the way you came, or you can say like, ooh, look, there's a chest up there. And if I climb up this way, I go a different way. And that's the way to get to the flower. But like, like they sort of lead you along. And yeah, I don't like this dungeon. Really, really, really don't. It's fine. It's cool. It's clever, but like, it just feels kind of tedious and claustrophobic. And once again, kind of handholdy.
I kept the water out on one of my buttons just as like a timer.
Yeah.
And that actually made the dungeon more fun for me because I was like, what enemies can I ignore and just get around? And it basically where in the past, when I would play this game, I would fight all the P-hats when I got into a room, or I would like try to clear out all those little spike ball monsters. This time I was just like, no, forget all you guys. There's a door over there. I'm going to it. The Jews were very upset with me. There were a lot of them and none of them mattered.
I have jelly for you.
I think I got in. The only thing like you really need to fight is the moblin that gets dropped on you. I think there's 2 of them. And then the Mothula fights that you do to actually get the boomerang. Everything else is pretty inconsequential. So just running through it with the knowledge that I had of like, okay, I got to get this nut. I got to put it on the little drawbridge and blow the little pinwheels to get me to go across. Like it became a race. And as a race, I found it a lot more fun than as an exploration. So
speaking of,
I did it literally the opposite of that, where I took my time and I went around every room and looked at everything. I just spent a bunch of money at Beetle, so I was even blowing the leaves up off the ground and picking up the rupees. I was checking with the map and seeing how the rooms lined up on the different floors so I could get an idea of the verticality and kind of like build a 3D space in my head of where I'd have to go to get to each place, and treated it like a puzzle. As I went around and got every chest. And I did actually find that door. And the funny part is I went into that really long hallway with the grass on the side where you fight the one Mothula before you get to the boss room.
Yeah, yeah.
And I beat it, but I got turned around in the fight because it shows the spikes going away from both doors. And then I left and didn't even get to the boss door. But I did it earlier than I needed to and immediately went to grab the boss key and then was like, I thought I've explored every door. And then I looked at the map and I went, did I really just turn around in that hallway, come back and not even realize that I didn't keep going? And it's exactly what I did.
Oh no!
I don't think you could keep going because I'm right. The high five just kind of went through every inch of this place and ended up in that like cool like showdown room with the grass on either side. But I was like, yep, can't really do anything here. But like I'm gonna like try and break the rules, and if I can, like I'm gonna go to places that you don't want me to go to necessarily, even if there's nothing to do there, because I can.
Yeah,
I just want to.
Yeah, I like that. And it almost felt like exploiting a little. There was a part in order to get up to a chest higher up where you had to straight climb up your rope all the way until you're standing on the thing that you're grappling to get to the next one. And I was like, am I really supposed to be standing on this? Because I played a lot of games and tried to stand in a lot of weird spots, and that did not look like something I should be standing on. So I felt like, is this really how I'm supposed to get up here? But I could not find another way to get there. So I'm like, I guess this is right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because that's the way to get that's the way you get up to cut the flower down.
From the very top.
Yeah, you come out of the Mothula fight and you're like, well, I could just go the way I came. You're like, ooh, what about up here?
Oh, yeah, I did do that. Yeah, okay, never mind.
You got to climb up and then stand on top of it.
Yeah, the mechanic they don't really teach you about.
Yeah.
On the Chew Island, there's a thing like that too. The Choo Island from as you're traveling between Windfall and Dragon Roost.
Yeah.
There was a hidden treasure chest up on a thing, but you had to grapple, climb to the top, and then grapple another one, climb to the top of that one, and there was a treasure chest with 20 rupees in it. And I was like, really? This hidden for 20 rupees?
$20?
But it was there. I was like, all right.
I'll make a note of that. I'll write on my map $20. And I'll go back there.
You can throw it in the pit with the rest of anything you get over 200.
Just this black hole that is my wallet.
It just falls through the hole in the bottom at that point.
Yeah, I don't know where it goes. It probably goes to Tingle.
Oh no, you're funding Tingle.
I've funded Tingle a lot too. Then
help Link get a bigger wallet.
Go fund me.
Yeah,
Tingle starter.
Oh,
all right.
GoTingle.com.
Oh no,
I don't want it to go to Tingle. That's why I need a bigger wallet.
You said something interesting that I wanted to kind of mention, Fonz. You mentioned Mothula, and I totally did not expect, like when I looked it up online, and I know we talked about this before, and I totally forgot it, but I'm like, I looked it up online and saw its name was Mothula, and I'm like, there's no way.
There's no way.
The boss in Link to the Past is Mothula, and that guy was so annoying. And then I saw it's the same thing, and it looks the same. They didn't even change the way he looks. It's the same thing, which leads me to believe, one, the room that you fight Mothula in is just no. And then two, the Link that's in Wind Waker is just 10 times more powerful than the Link in A Link to the Past, because you could just destroy Mothulas in this game.
Yeah, and the
spikies.
In A Link to the Past, there were spike traps that would shoot across the room, and then this guy just has his own little spike ball things that just slow you down.
They don't damage you at all.
Spawn at you, which is kind of gross, but
they're like little burrs.
Well,
yeah.
The simple answer is that A Link to the Past is a better game that does not hold your hand.
A Link to the Past, that Mothula went the mecha route and decided to just, I will build my young. I will not them.
This is like the difference between like a Zelda game boss, like you get Mothula from Wind Waker, and then like a From Software Dark Souls boss where you get Mothula from Link to the Past.
Well, they I want to see a Mothula like I see Lionel's in Breath of the Wild, just like Mothula spread around that are just a pain.
Geez.
That'd be awesome.
They have an amalgamation of just spikes flying all around them like a tornado.
I like that they just we're just gonna call it Mothula, like from the this is basically the thing from the Godzilla movies.
Yeah, that too.
We're just gonna steal that name.
Yeah. But hey, I like that name, so. Yo.
Good name.
It's a good name.
I like that you come to the top of the forest to fight Mothula and then descend back with the weapon you get.
Yeah.
We're here to save Makar.
We are here to save Makar.
What happened to Makar?
So,
dude, where's Makar?
Where's Makar, dude?
That's too good.
Be
it's
the
too
episode
perfect.
name. It's the episode.
Wow. I hate how good that is. That's really, really fun. Oh man.
Oh gosh.
2001 was a simpler time.
Not the blindsided with the stoner movies. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so we get through this Mothula fight and we come up to the boss that has one of the most confusing names. I'm trying to figure out if there's some kind of trivia behind it.
I tried.
Okay. What'd you find?
So like I don't know if this is anything, but at least in Greek, the demos means like common. So it could be like a common people or a common place, like a common city. And that's just what they called things in Greece was common. And then kale in Greek is beauty or like something that's beautiful. So the only thing I can take out of it is common beauty. But then I like looked into it more and they all have that name in different languages, except for some reason, German is different. And they made a pun on carnivore and flora, and they called it carnivora. And they're the only language that pronounces this dude different. And I was like, that's something, but what? Like, I didn't really, it makes zero sense because, like, Japanese, French, Italian, Spanish, English, they're all Kalidimos.
There's got to be a reason for that. For for common beauty, because common, I feel like when they're naming plants and animals, like common gets used a lot, and sometimes it's for things that don't feel like they should be common. So maybe it's like just supposed to be ironic in that way. Because this is like a nightmare plant. It's like Kale Demos feels more like demon kale, you know, like it's. Like that's what this but that is the name of this boss, right? Kale Demos. And it is a pretty blue flower that is also a squid monster. So it, you know, we first come into the room, there's a big blue glowing flower. Makar's just chilling in the middle of it.
We have to save Makar.
We do have to save Makar. Sorry.
He's in danger, but we don't realize how yet.
Right. Like, he's screaming for help, is what it seems like. Maybe he's excited to see something that's not a flower. And we approach, and suddenly a little Muppet head pops up out of the middle of this flower. And
it's Baba-esque. It's like you know.
Chomps on Makar. It's like a cookie monster. Like, it just straight up, like, pops up. It looks like a Deku nut, kind of, with a mouth, and just, like, eats Makar, except it's bright blue.
Yeah, it looks like it has, like, the little, you know, plant baba, you know, mouth, right. And then this just huge system around it.
Right. And when it eats Makar, you don't even see Makar, like, go down, like, the neck of it.
It's just gone.
It's just gone. Makar's been atomized. And so we have to fight this thing. It grows a bunch of
the flower closes up into a bulb and then it sticks itself to the ceiling.
Yeah. So one of the things of note is that this looks a lot like Baronade once it gets into this form.
Oh yeah.
which they're playing a lot with the references, like with Dragon Roost having Goma, but it's not just Goma, it's Goma that's like in King Dodongo's arena for some reason. Like it's a different kind of Goma, but it's definitely referencing Goma. Like it has some of the same shapes, the single eyeball, all of that,
Mhm.
And then you get here in the forest where, in Ocarina of Time, we fought a Goma, but now we're fighting a forest version of Baronade instead. So it's just like...
Feels like a reference, but not like a meaningful reference. Like Mayo, you were talking about the prequel comparison earlier, and that's what I always think of with the prequels is that the George Lucas quote of like, it's sort of poetry that they rhyme, but I always read into that like it's they're references, they're things that are stuck in there to remind you of something, but they're not like meaningful. A lot of the time it's just like, oh, that ship is shaped like that ship, the passage of time, or oh, that character is here, or there's a whatever. Like a lot of them don't seem like they have like as much. I get that, like in here, it's like, yeah, that's cool. It's Baronade, but it's a plant now.
Cool world building.
Yeah, almost lazy world building.
Yeah. The way it strikes me is that what they're trying to say here is that Ganon has forms for things, and they're not as environmentally dependent as they would have seemed back in the day. Like it seemed like, oh, a spider, perfect for a tree. Oh, a jellyfish, perfect for a great fish or whatever. Like these are the ways he's attacking these specific deities. Whereas in this, it's like, no, none of that was natural and was like an actual fit for those things. Like Ganon can just make Gomas, and he can make Baronades, and he can put them wherever they need to be, and they'll just kind of take from the environment or match it. They'll adapt to it. So like these monsters aren't actually like Baronade's not actually like a jellyfish monster. It's just a form of monster that can be either. Like that's kind of how it comes across to me, which is cool in that it's evidence of like this isn't just something that's naturally occurring in these Forbidden Woods. Like this is Ganon meddling.
I mean, it doesn't feel like these woods were a good place to be anyway before this, but now Ganon is like really kind of made it worse.
It's kind of like he makes gloom, and then the gloom sticks to stuff in an environment and becomes something that is bad for the environment.
Or he has different faces of evil that he can put in different situations.
Baronade face.
Have I played the CDI games?
Goma face.
No,
I have not played the CDI games. Where am I going to get a CDI?
Sweden, I think.
I don't. I have not even pursued playing those games, to be honest.
Yeah.
Nope.
We've all heard.
Nor have I. I've seen a CDI in the wild, but
I
did not play it.
One day I might actually watch a playthrough, but I have not even gotten to that point yet.
There's a good SGDQ speed run or AGDQ, I don't know, one of the GDQs, where they did an incentive to watch all cutscenes. So that's a good place to start.
Yeah. So I guess the one other thing I want to say about this then is that this would all hint to there being a water-based King Dodongo. And I will go out on just to spoil it right now. That does not happen.
Not in this game.
Not in this game.
But it could have been a holdover in Twilight Princess, because there's definitely kind of something that you would describe as that.
Yeah. Yeah, they saved it for the next one.
There you go.
I guess. And we'll talk about that when we talk about that game.
I feel so bad for you.
Oh, well.
Hey, I'm looking forward to replaying it.
Yeah. It's been
You
a
say that,
while
no.
since I played it.
Long
I
time.
played it last year, and yeah, some of the shine's a little bit gone, but hopefully when we're podcasting about it, I'll think about it harder. Not that I didn't hate the game. It's just it wasn't what I remembered it being.
Are you saying that my shine's gonna get
Right.
rubbed off? Because in my memory of me, I think I played it back in high school. Was the last time I've ever played it.
High school was a good time to play
I
it.
feel like I have this like magical journey of like just going on this awesome adventure and being able to transform into a wolf and having this giant like Hyrule field and going anywhere. And I feel like once I play it, it's just going to be all ripped away.
Yeah, I don't know
I
if you should
could-
play that.
Yeah, I don't know if you should play.
You should just leave it there.
So this boss, essentially what you got to do is release it from the ceiling using your magical boomerang. Same way we release the flower in the main room.
But there's a lot more of them.
There's a lot more of them. You got to throw that boomerang at least, I don't know, 3 or 4 times to hit them all.
Well, you can target multiple ones instead of just like an ocarina throwing blind boomerang tosses, just hoping.
Yeah, just Z target and circle strafe. That's what I always do. But yeah, this one you kind of have to actually look up and select 5 twines and hit them, and actually make like noise. Now, sound design for the win once again with this whole deal. And in the meantime, it's shooting tentacles into the ground that kind of rip through the ground and come at you and start smacking around, flailing in a way that only a cartoon can. Once it comes to the ground, you're going to run up to the middle where the head is popped out and splash it with some Forest Haven water, and it's going to die instantly.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Pretty great.
And that's how you win.
Or you have to go through about 5 cycles of doing a jump slash, 1 or 2 hits, and then getting out before it noms you.
Yeah.
Or you can do 3 cycles of just getting eaten by the dang thing and just sitting there.
I wasn't going to waste my fairies. My precious fairies.
There's some grass around the edge.
Mine are special.
If I remember right, this boss doesn't have like multiple phases though, where it significantly changes its attacks.
Not really. Just gets more mad probably with the tentacles.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think it does that, or at least it didn't for me. Put the tentacles into the ground, into the whole whip up animation you were talking about until like halfway through the fight. Before that, it was just like, I'm gonna wind this one up. Better get away. Oh, I used it. Whoa! Did you see that one coming?
Tentacles are also a thing I ignore. I let the thing eat me. I let it hit me with like I really don't care. I'm just gonna slash
the boomerang's in the air. I'm like, go ahead, hit me. I don't care.
Yeah, I
was doing side hops and rolling up under it to take cover. Yeah,
that's hot.
Action hero Link.
Yeah, the rise of the lunker.
You did a good thing.
Exactly.
So we defeat this thing, this big pretty common flower. And Makar is super happy, but is like, yeah, we better get back right away. The ceremony's today. Like we gotta deal with that.
I gotta make the gig, man.
And so we get our heart container for beating a boss, which is traditionally how you get them ever since Zelda 1. And then
and 2.
Yeah. And then we fly back to the Forest Haven, where our return is celebrated, and we're able to actually perform I don't even remember what they call it. It's a ceremony though. Is it a seed ceremony? Deku seed ceremony? I don't know.
Yeah, they play music.
Yeah. So the tree has this line that always makes me feel a little strange, where he's like he basically asks Makar to play him a song, and so then Makar's like, "Oh, in celebration of you being here, I'm gonna play even more vigorously than I normally do." And then I don't know. It's just the whole situation is like this song is somehow necessary to produce the seeds, I guess. like the Deku Tree's really got to be vibing to the music in order for the seeds to be good.
Get in the mood. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it just like at this point, it's just tradition to do the song?
I guess. Well, the Deku Tree does kind of say that if they can't perform the ceremony, it could have a detrimental effect on the world as a whole. Like this is somehow very important work that they're doing.
Okay.
And listen, the Deku Tree also decides to share some of his beliefs with us, so we get a little bit of deck evangelism going on.
I want the world to be a forest.
Yeah, he's like, if we put trees on all these islands, then they will take root and basically help firm up the islands so that they can grow. And if they do that, then eventually all the islands can reconnect and create a new land, a new nation of Hyrule, is what it sounds like he's saying.
I guess wood does float, so maybe a wooden landmass would you could have a wooden continent, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe he's not too far off.
Yeah, it sounds to me like he's trying to prevent erosion. We're just gonna get these roots in there, and then none of these islands will wash away, and maybe instead they'll just get bigger and bigger. It's like I don't know if that's how that works.
Yeah, it sounds like he misunderstands volcanic accretion.
Yeah, if the islands are going to grow, they're going to do that for other reasons. It's not going to be because
trees come later, tree man. We need to have a big landmass first, then trees.
But he's a big spirit tree. Spirit tree special.
So, putting the seed before the land.
So he's got this whole vision for the future, and that's kind of where this ceremony comes into play. We're gonna find out pretty quick. I mean, the first time you find one of these Koroks on an island, they're gonna outright tell you that their tree's struggling.
The song sucked.
It's not even that. I mean, I think it's just they really underestimated how bad the environment was for trees of this nature.
Or Ganon. Maybe there's a lot of Ganon happening.
There's a lot of Ganon happening, and they're planting these trees on islands that are surrounded by salt water. So, every one of them's we just need some of that haven water, man.
Just one sip of that haven stuff.
You're not going to drink this, are you? This is for the tree, right?
Yeah. So there's a whole side quest that involves going back and hitting these trees before your half hour of clean haven water turns into just regular water. And so, I mean, you do all that, I think you might get a piece of heart for it or something.
Yeah. It doesn't take that long, but it would if you tried to do it now.
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely want to wait till you have fast travel to do this.
Whoa.
Hey.
I thought the Swift Sail was fast. Whoa.
Yeah. Well,
you tell me I could go at light speed?
Nah.
So
it's not quite that.
I just got a thought in my head of you give the guys water from the Forest Haven, they're oh, that's that stuff. I'm good for another 10 years now off that one bottle. That's it. What? No.
I mean, they get they're trees with smiley faces that don't talk. It's very concerning. These trees that you help out.
That's that good stuff.
Don't let Tingle know about them. I'm sure he'll try to exploit them somehow.
Yeah.
Tingle's just a really upstanding guy.
But
yeah, wait till you get to his island.
Oh, I bet
yeah.
He's
not doing anything wrong.
There's some stuff upstanding there for sure, but it ain't.
But I did do some more looking into, because I'm just flabbergasted, guys, by that name, Kale Demos. So I looked up what the Japanese
you've been Googling this whole time,
and so Kale in Japanese means he, and Demasu, which is his name in Japanese is to leave or to come. So essentially, his translation in Japanese is something along the lines of "he is leaving" or "he is coming."
Just
Oh, no.
his name is the equivalent of a T-Rex foot like stomp.
It's a sign of the return of Ganon.
He's coming.
He's coming.
And then
Oh,
if you take just Kale, which apparently Japanese, that is just what it's supposed to mean, is just Kale Demos. So if you just take that and translate that as it is, it just translates to "he
Oh,
is."
gosh. All right.
He is
I'm done.
in.
I'm done talking about this flower. We killed it.
I'm just flabbergasted.
Give it some of that good water.
Nintendo was on that good water when they came up with this.
So, because the ceremony is able to be completed and all the Koroks are happy about the seeds, at least for now, we could talk about that fancy schmancy jig, that shanty that Makar plays for the group. But
pretty good jig.
It was
yeah,
a pretty good jig.
jig. I love the Korok chorus that joins in on the jig. Because it's like a assembly, like it's just a whole line of kazoos basically. But it sounds wonderful.
It's like when like all your Pikmin start singing.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. It's like a group of Pikmin.
I gotta go watch a YouTube video of this.
No, because you didn't have the
jig.
sound on.
Yeah,
That's a
because
crime,
Ari
you
was
know.
sleeping.
Like
so I had to
you
turn
could
this
go to
sound
jail for
off.
that.
Oh man, I gotta go pull a YouTube video up now.
Playing this section without the sound on. Watching the ceremony without the sound on.
That's why.
I can't believe
That's
it.
why it failed.
Yeah. So the Deku Tree gives us the pearl. Similar to previous Deku Trees, just being completely with the program of, oh yeah, you need this thing. All right, take it. And we go back out to Coral, and he's like, oh, you got it. Good stuff. All right, there's one more to get, and it's across the map. Let's go. And that's pretty much his whole spiel. He doesn't really have much to share with you, other than like, oh yeah, sign of the times, man. Like, clearly Ganon's been making progress more than we thought. If you had to fight a whole monster here, like, so
he's stolen 3 girls. Like, let's settle down.
He's stolen 3 girls and planted 2 monsters. The world's gone to pot.
I guess so. I guess the 2 monster planting, sure.
But yeah, we I mean, if you want, there's one other thing you can do on this island, and that's use a seagull to hit a switch and crack open a gallery. I believe it's run by the one and only Gustav. He'll turn pictographs into figurines that tells things about characters that you didn't already know.
Well, if you have a color pictograph.
Right. Which in New Game Plus you do.
Oh. There's also another island that you can jump to that has a treasure chart on it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's one of there's 3 different exits at the top of the tree. One takes you to the dungeon, one takes you over to this island where the figurine thing is, and then one will take you to an island with just a treasure chest on it.
Gotcha. The guy's name is not Gustav. Hold on. Let me see if I get his name.
Perry.
What?
Houdini?
The name's Perry.
Perry?
No, I don't know.
Figurine guy, Wind Waker. Manny? No, Manny's the fan. There's a fan boy in the figurine shop named Manny.
It's got a little Octorok on his back.
Karlov, not Gustav. Karlov.
Okay.
Pretty close.
So I could see where I got Gustav from, but yeah, that's not wrong name. Karlov the sculptor will turn pictographs into sculptures. So that's just the mechanic of the game. I mean, we've been using conveniently like wiki sources that just kind of have all that without us having to actually take the pictures. But it's just a cool way for them to incorporate lore into the game because, we don't have Navi to just tell us about stuff. I kind of prefer the Navi method, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
especially when I can only hold 3 photos in my game.
Yeah. My current setup, I can hold 12 and it still doesn't feel like enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I can imagine 3 feeling like really rough. But yeah, that's our section for today. Next time we play, we'll be heading towards our third and final pearl, and I'm sure it'll be just a cakewalk. And
yeah,
in
a
there won't
dungeon.
be any reason why we can't do a dungeon for that.
Yeah, probably water. There'll be a water to Dongo, like we said earlier.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if I had to predict based on the pattern,
yeah,
Dongos and water would be it. But yeah, guys, let me just wrap this up. Before we finish this episode, Luigi, where can people find you?
Oh my goodness. You can find me over at Need for Speedrunning, the podcast about speedrunning, wherever podcasts are found. I think when this comes out, it'll be it'll be a little ahead of time, but we talked to Mitch Flower Power about his recent Super Mario 3 sub 50-minute world record. So it was a good time. So check out Need for Speedrunning.
Awesome. I just listened to your guys' Minecraft episode today, and it sounded like craziness. I didn't actually watch the speedrun, but
it was ridiculous. Yeah, that one's not too bad because it was like only 7 minutes. But yeah, it's infinitely rewatchable and slow downable, and it's really cool to watch someone just make another portal underwater with a bucket and just find like a lava vein, and yeah, it's stupid.
Well, all right. Thank you all for listening to our episode of A for No, B for Yes. This has been our episode covering the Forest Haven and the Forbidden Woods. Next episode, we will be getting into some stormy weather. But catch us then on A for No, B for Yes.
Hashtag free David Jr.
Yar. Did you get all that?